On this day in 1959, Celtic decided after a midweek trial that they would not be putting numbers on the backs of their jerseys. In October 1959, the Celtic Park floodlights that once rose majestically into the skies over the east end of Glasgow were completed, and they were used in a match for the first time in a friendly against Wolves on the 12th of the month. In the week before the big opening, a trial run was held to test out what the Evening Times of the 10th of October called the most magnificent floodlighting system in Britain. There had been speculation in the week leading up to the Wolves friendly that Celtic would, for the first time, be wearing numbers on their backs. But at the same time as the lights were being tested, Bobby Evans and Neil Mochan were asked to appear on the pitch in numbered jerseys. In their Off the Peg column on the 10th of October 1959, Ger Henderson and Peter Hendry wrote, "Up in the stand sat manager Jimmy McGrory, and out on the field went Evans and Mochan in the latest creations in the way of Celtic football strips, and each one had a number on the back." First of all, Evans appeared in that not quite so well known line of white jersey wool, green sleeves with shamrock embroidered on the bodice. They tried it out with red numbers and with green numbers. Verdict from Mr McGrory, not pleasing to the eye. Then they tried out the usual green and white ensemble with numbers, and that made the spectators shudder. The reason for all the sartorial activity was, of course, part of the great preparation for Monday night's arrival of the Wolves and the grand gala opening of the most magnificent floodlighting system in Britain. But after the jersey trial, Celtic have decided once again that they will not ruin their strip with numbers, and the team on Monday night will play as always in their smart and clean green and white. Celtic for long resisted putting numbers on their jerseys, believing that not only did they ruin the appearance of the hoops, but that it was almost sacrilegious to deface them. Less than a year later, on the 10th of May 1960, Celtic players wore numbered shorts for the first time, printed large on both the front and back, and this satisfied the game's administrators until 1975. Yellow numbers were tried out on the back of the hoops in the clumsily named Anglo-Franco-Scottish Friendship Cup in a match away to Sudan on the 6th of August 1960. But Celtic decided the numbers did not stand out enough against the hoops and continued with the numbered shorts. UEFA regulations eventually caught up with Celtic, and black numbers appeared on the shirts in a competitive match for the first time on the 5th of November 1975 in the second round first leg European Cup Winners' Cup match against Boavista. Probably the first time Celtic wore numbers on the back of their hooped shirts in a domestic match was on the 7th of September 1985 in a 5-0 win over Hibernian at Easter Road. They actually wore the previous season's V-neck shirt that day, so it was possibly picked up by the kitmen by mistake and proved to be a one-off. The Scottish League passed a rule in May 1994 that stated jerseys must be clearly numbered, and Celtic tried to get around this in the first two matches of season 1994-95 with a number on each sleeve, but the league insisted the numbers must be on the back of the shirt, and under protest, rather than pay a £10,000 fine, Fergus McCann agreed to put numbers on the back on the 27th of August 1994 in a 2-0 win at Ibrox. In the meantime, he sought legal advice on the matter, but the numbers have been on the back of the hoops ever since. UEFA's rules on shirt numbering have become ever more stringent over the past decade, and Celtic, like other clubs whose shirt consists of stripes or hoops of both light and dark colours, must now wear a number sitting on a large white panel on their backs, covering the hoops completely. We can only wonder what Jimmy McGrory or Bob Kelly would make of it all.